Hey guys, it's Shelby and Michelle with FHL Design, and today we are taking you on a new build empty home tour. So this home is almost done. I mean, we're so close, still in progress, but it really has a ton of design features, a lot of design tips, a lot of design inspiration, and honestly, I'm so excited for you to see what we've been working on for
maybe 7-8 months.
I was going to say a year, so I will check the timeline, but
it's really coming to life. And this is the point where you can come in and you can really visualize where we're going.
Yeah, so let's go. Okay, no better place to start this new build home tour, clearly in progress. We've got the hardwoods covered with paper because they're working, and you can hear the trim carpenter upstairs, but it's still pretty darn glorious. And we're in the entryway, and we did have to make some revisions.
Yeah. So these days, the cool kids are doing 2 sconces in bigger entries and really making an impact. So that's what we decided to do. But when we came in here with both the sconces, we realized that it was overpowering the space.
Yeah.
And not only that, but it impeded the doorway. We hang them at 7 feet, which is pretty typical, but 7 feet, the one closest to the door was too close to the door.
Yeah.
So we just split the difference, put it in the center of the room, and it makes a big impact all on its own.
Well, and I feel like it draws attentions to the beams. When we were designing this home, the design plans, I was really focused on making the beams the shining star of the space. Our clients really have a modern, organic look. So we really wanted to make the beams the shining star. And so having less lighting actually did, I think, make that work. This was an interesting spot because this area was not straight, and we really wanted to define the entryway, so making a case with the beams was important. The trim carpenter who just walked in and out, this is the construction zone, so there's lots of inflow and outflow. He was able to somehow do some sort of math equation to line this up when it was not straight. This was actually out further than this. Somehow lines up, really defines the space nicely, and makes you look at the beams and just...
I think it draws you into this space. They really wanted like this modern organic feel. And so this case opening with the beams draws you into the living room with the beams, but it defines the spaces.
Yeah.
And it's a small space. This house is not huge. For some it's huge, but in Texas, everything's bigger. But they have 0 lot lines in this sweet little neighborhood, and so they could only do like maybe 1,500 square feet on the bottom, I think, is where they're at. And so it really is the impact that we were looking for with these case opening with the beams and the ceiling beams.
So yeah, the entry really draws you in, like Mom said, and it makes you want to go to this glorious fireplace, which I do want to know is in progress.
Yes.
One of our most asked questions on this YouTube channel is, how did Mom accomplish her fireplace? And we've said it many times, it's white sand, white mortar, which the masonry group did understand that, and they knew it, but they used white sand, white cement. You can see the white sand in the driveway. So we knew they had done what we requested, because if you use sand, the normal color sand, like sand you see at the beach, that will kind of make it actually similar to this color.
Oh, and it makes it orange. It makes it burnt orange. But if you use white sand and white mortar, you get a white. Now this is more buff, I would say, because they used white cement instead of white mortar. White mortar, the difference is it's something that you would typically use in tile.
Yeah.
Interior type situation.
Yeah. So they are going to actually paint the grout. We were thinking they would over grout it, but...
Well, they're still using the white sand and white mortar, but they're going in with an actual like brush to kind of go over the top of what we already have. Because this is not bad. It's just not
the look.
That wanted this to kind of be just a backdrop and not pop out. We wanted this to all look like a white wall.
Yeah, and the inspiration, we'll pull it up on the computer, but it's really just a soft look. Again, they like that modern European vibe. They are definitely a little bit more modern than like mom's fireplace, so we were going to accomplish that.
Yes, they really wanted a linear fireplace, and so we found one that we thought would go and be cohesive with the rest of the design of the home. And this is actually a limestone, which was cut in particular for this linear fireplace. And it was about $1,600 if you're wondering. It is a lot of limestone, but it was labor intensive to cut. But I think it makes a really big impact.
Yeah.
And I really like it.
Talk about the glorious lighting.
Okay. This is a pain point for us because anytime that you have a plan, the contractors really follow it to a T from the actual set of floor plans. And because this room is extended this way almost into the entryway, and we really made the conversation area here, we wanted this light to align with the conversation area and with the fireplace. So it had to be moved over about 3 feet. So typically your electrician will leave about a foot of length. So because of that and because of code, we had to actually pull from a can light because you can't splice wires and put it behind the sheetrock. That's dangerous. And so we have all these holes in the wall, but that's what Poncho, our amazing painter, is for.
Well, I wanted you to tell them more about the actual fixture.
Well, I have a little trauma because of all the light moving,
but it's from Visual Comfort. I'll have the link. It actually comes with shades. We wanted something that had texture and dimension, and this gold sure does, because we didn't want it to be too glammy feeling with the wood beams, the stone, and all these organic materials that we're trying to embrace. And I like that it also gives a mix. Like we have more gold in the kitchen and the entry, and then we did something a little bit more patina and rustic in this area. So
I think we won't use the shades in this particular case because we do have something in the kitchen that we don't want to overdo. Again, the reason that we decided we probably will lose those shades and the chandelier in the family room is because it's in view of these really large linen shades that we also got from Visual Comfort. Quite a few pieces of lighting came from Visual Comfort for this home, and especially the places where we wanted to make impact. We really had these beautiful shades in mind. And something I want to say is every time you get pendants for your island and you have them on the ground, you can get scared.
They look dramatic, but then when you hold them up, they are normal.
Yeah, I don't know why that is, that you can just hold it up 7 feet and all of a sudden it is perspective though. On the floor, I'm always pulling it out of the box thinking, what have I done? But once they're up, they're perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest features in this kitchen, I would say, is the reeds. We have them both on the island and on the dining hutch. This was a little bit more challenging. I guess in this area, people haven't done this. And so the cabinet maker attempted it, but the reeds that they sent were not flexible. And so the trim carpenter came in and saved the day. And it was definitely a collaborative effort. And I think it was worth the effort.
You actually picked the counters. We took the client with us.
Well, yes. So we were thinking we would go something more like a true stone, like a quartzite, a marble. And then when we went, this quartz, which typically because quartz is a manufactured stone, quartzite, marble, real granite, the Lord made. So typically, Mom and I go to the Lord for our material choices. It has a very natural look. It's called, what is it called? Gold. I think let's put a lower third title, what it's called. But it's a great stone, and I've noticed that when people have it, it's very consistently looks like this. We have a curve on this, so it really softens the look of the more firm lines in both the stone on the fireplace and the beams. And then we also have this backsplash ledge right here so we can decorate it. This was another interesting thing that we got feedback from the countertop guy. He was concerned that there wasn't enough support to have the ledge that deep because we don't have a wall ending there. We did end up getting 4 inches. He told us 3 inches. We fought a little harder to please let us have 4 inches. And they came up with solutions on how
The solution was actually to insert the ledge into
the wall.
And so it's hanging in the joist.
Yeah.
And so that's how they were able to give us that. And in addition, though, a lot of times, which we'll show you in the laundry room, you can actually use a little piece of the actual counter to make a cap to end it to hold that up if you wanted to. We didn't want to do that.
Well, not here because we have a space and we really wanted we wanted the cabinet to feel like a furniture piece, although it also does have the same quartz. We wanted it to feel more like furniture. And then we have the kitchen cabinets, which feel like built-ins, which is a different look. So I'm seeing a lot of people make built-ins and make them look like literally it's just a glorious piece of furniture.
Why don't you point out what you did with the picture lights above these windows? That's really, really fun.
Yeah. So I wanted something other than sconces here. And so I found these picture lights also from Visual Comfort. I like that also has kind of a natural patina look. These are actually 18 inches and the window is 18 inches, which made me a little nervous, to be honest, because I felt like it was going to look, the scale wasn't going to be correct. But honestly, with the trim, it worked out perfectly. It also kind of ties back into this vent hood where we did some gold touches here.
Well, I will say that we wanted to actually have a brass. So they are a living material. They're going to patina. Our clients can seal it if they don't really want it to patina, but this is what we like. Something that's organic and will, over time, it will have a age.
So the last question I know I'm going to get in this kitchen in particular is the paint colors. This is Benjamin Moore Swiss Coffee. And then we tested so many stain mixes. Provincial, but it's a mix.
But it's cut. It's not full-blown provincial. It's like 50%, something like that. So what we suggest you do is just have your guy take a piece of wood and just put multiple stains. If you know you like a certain tone, you can start out at full strength and then have them cut it until you find your glorious spot where you just say, this is.
And unfortunately in this house, it did take many trials because we were trying to match the beams, which is a different wood species, and then also trying to be cohesive with the pine boards, which are they pine?
It's pine.
Pine boards, which are also a different wood species. So trying to go white oak, whatever those beams are, pine. I mean,
we didn't want it to match, but we wanted it to feel cohesive. We didn't want to go like red and then brown and then gold. And then we wanted this golden hue to be throughout.
Yep. So another paint color in here is Sherwin-Williams Duck White, which is a great white. If you're looking for something creamy, it goes really great with the Benjamin Moore Swiss Coffee. If you're looking for a magical combo, I'm really into this. And I would say the countertops are definitely a little bit more vibrant than these colors, but all cohesive. So if you're looking for a combo, because this is manufactured, you can actually do all of this in your own space. Butler's Pantry also has a glorious color. The other thing is there was a revision in here that was, I think, worth it. One thing that I knew was going to brighten the space other than the white walls was the countertops. This Calcutta gold was supposed to go in there, and really we would have to buy an entire new slab, which it really was. It's an affordable stone compared to most, but it just isn't worth it for the butlers when you can get a great look for butcher block. And honestly, I like it better.
It's way better. So what I would say when you are investing in stone material is have your stone guy come, lay out your counters. They do these like templates, right? And so basically he cut templates for the whole house for us. And these templates told us how many slabs of stone we would need. So once he finished telling us that we would need an entire new slab of stone, we said, hey, let's just do the butcher block. And our clients weren't always like right on board out of the gate with our ideas, but now they love it and they're so happy. And so it's just turned out perfect.
Our goal is we do suggest splurges often. Clearly we have designer lighting in this house, great finishes, but sometimes it's important to hire a designer that can make cost-effective solutions for you when the designer knows it's simply not worth it. To me, I just felt like it wasn't worth it, the impact that would make in that space. And the butcher block was going to add character that honestly I felt like it needed, and it kind of like tied the kitchen up with a bow.
Yeah. So the other thing that tied it up with a bow was that you had created this hutch for the dining space, and then we mirrored it with the wood hutch inside of the pantry. Now, our cabinet guy went a little arch crazy. You only want to do so many arches so that it's not so, redundant. And so we wanted the furniture pieces that were in the wood to be the ones that had the arch. But he actually put an arch in one of the cabinets in the kitchen, which we're going to have redone with a solid facing.
Yeah.
And that's twofold. One, it will allow our clients the opportunity to not have to keep every piece of dishware neat and tidy because of the glass. And two, it will really make these stand out more, these pieces of furniture.
Yeah, you can definitely overdo it. So let's go into the primary bedroom. Okay, so this needs to be a retreat. So we wanted to make a space that felt really special. The fireplace was that. And honestly, there was no mishaps in this room.
Well, one little thing, we did move over the light in the ceiling. We have some lighting movement going on everywhere, but we have a 4-poster bed coming in, and we wanted to make sure that that light was just outside of the 4-poster. So we did have them, but they didn't have to cut very many holes because there was enough wire to just move it over a foot.
Yep. So that was a really simple thing. We have the brick that has texture. It's just those brick panels or brick.
No, it's real brick, but it's veneer. So it's kind of thin. And then we used a surround that is cast stone on this fireplace, and it forms a mantle. And we're going to have to get a frame for the TV because they just have a standard TV going in here. So just to give it a little bit of,
look fancy. It's not always ideal to have a TV over the fireplace, but you got to think of function and flow. And we are in 2024, and we have solutions for ugly TVs. So
the brick wall really calls to the brick fireplace.
Yep.
The brick wall behind the bed. And I love that.
Yes. Okay, something else that's really glorious in this room is these doors from Antiques and Vintage. You guys, if you've been following us for any amount of time, we're huge fans of Antiques and Vintage, and Greg always helps us source the best. These are probably from Egypt.
Yeah.
Like most of their doors are. Our client was not as much into the distressing as most of our projects have been. So like moms have a lot of distressing. This does not. They actually ended up staining over them, so it's a little cleaner, but they have the original hardware, which is really what makes it interesting, and still have the wood stain, which goes great with the flooring. We can peek up to show.
Yeah, the floors are so pretty. They're really wide plank, and I love that because it's a little bit different, and it goes really well with all the different colors of the wood species throughout the house.
Yes. And then the primary bathroom, we don't have to go all the way in. We can stay out here for lighting purposes. We did some really fun things in here, honestly. We found this inspiration photo from Amber Interiors, but wanted to do something different. When we find inspiration, I don't always want to copy paste, although you can. And I hope that we can provide resources that you are able to not be overwhelmed and just accomplish that. Like I said, in the kitchen, this combo can literally be installed in your kitchen, no matter the layout, etc. She had a marble, marble, and she actually did 2 different thicknesses in her stone. Like the bottom was thin, then she had the flat piece, and then the thicker piece. That was going to be way more expensive, but also I don't know that it was going to make the impact. So here we used it's called Tahiti quartzite, which is a natural stone, so made by God. But we did not do different thicknesses, and we also have a backsplash, which I don't think that inspiration had the backsplash.
Well, I think she may have used a lower vanity space for makeup. Did hers go lower?
Yeah. So our layout, I guess our client did not want it to like tuck away like that. And so it just made it a whole different thing. What was really neat is we've picked floors that honestly look like they match.
Which we didn't mean to do that, but our client likes matchy poo-poo stuff, so they loved it. They thought we did it on purpose, but we really didn't take the tile to the stone and look at it. It just all kind of
we knew it was going to be cohesive, but not that matchy. And then we had just standard subway with some distressing, kind of has that Bedrosian, it's Chloe look, but it's from Daltile. And then the mosaic in the floor.
It's a picket. It's called picket, and it's really, really fun. And so we did that in the floor, and I just think this is my favorite room in the house.
Yes, I can't wait for y'all to see it like for real finish. Okay, and while we're in here, one thing about this floor plan that I love is you walk through the primary bedroom to the bathroom to the closet, which leads to the laundry. The light, it's pretty dark in there right now. Maybe we'll like use our iPhones to like flashlight.
But we can talk about it. So we love the flow of this. We're finding a lot of people doing their primary bedrooms in conjunction with their laundry spaces so that you don't have to walk, I guess, across the whole house. And so this flows from the bathroom into the master closet and then into the laundry. And we have a beautiful chandelier for the closet, and then the laundry has some really beautiful blue cabinetry, and then we did this really neat marble thing.
Yeah, so we needed a solution because it felt Mom found this inspiration photo with an art. We knew we wanted it, but in their photo, they actually had like an ending. It went into the walls. Ours is like a little nook. So we needed to come up with a solution where it felt complete. So we literally doodled these little designs on the wall, and somehow the countertop guy is literally an artist and was able to recreate the craziest doodle on the wall ever.
Yeah, I mean, I love working with artisans, and this guy was definitely someone who had been doing this for a long time and took it really next level. He took our idea and then he said, let's take it up a notch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go upstairs.
Okay.
Okay, so we have trim carpenters up here, so we are going to go speedy quick to stay out of their way. But there are a lot of really cool features to talk about up here. The ceiling, super dramatic with the pine feature, a beam, a fireplace that's getting a really cool finish, a bar. I mean,
yeah, I just want to say that when we got this set of floor plans, the ceiling wasn't vaulted in here, and we just found it was an opportunity to make a really big impact. Tall ceilings really do make a room look so much bigger. This house has 9-foot ceilings, which are beautiful and cozy and wonderful, but we wanted this room with this view of this glorious tree line, green belt. We wanted it to really be something dramatic.
Yeah. What I love about it too is when you go out on the patio, it has the same ceiling treatment, and then it has the beams. So it's really this flow. Don't worry, there's gonna be railing, so you're not just like, it's very high. Honestly, like when I step out, I'm like, but yeah, it's a good, really cool feature. My favorite feature probably in this entire house is Mom's idea to do the wood trim in these arched doorways. She found this inspiration and wanted to run with it. We didn't overdo it, so it's not in every archway, it's just in here. So it really draws your eye to look at all the natural wood around you without overdoing it. You also found the inspiration for the bar, and we did the same countertop material as the laundry room. This is also a quartz, and it is called something Grigio.
I know it's something like a wine, like not Pinot Grigio, but something like that.
She doesn't drink wine.
But if
Pinot Grigio.
So if you can imagine, though, this is going to have metal inside, that we're not using glass in the cabinetry, we're using metal, which was according to the inspiration photo. And this is a lot bigger than the actual inspiration that I found, but I like it because the people who stay upstairs, their family and friends will be able to use this like as a coffee bar or a little, space for, snacks and things like that.
It's not as much as a kitchenette, but it's enough for those that like you want to grab a water or a drink or coffee without going downstairs, maybe before bed or early in the morning. So you go through this first archway, and there is what we have been calling the twin room. So this is the grandbaby space. It is going to have the Love versus Design wallpaper that you guys helped us select. It's a custom color, and I love that it has the millwork below, adds a cool feature. The bathroom, the Jack and Jill bath for this space, has been a little controversial.
Not for us.
No, not for us. The client loves the tile when we showed her the samples. And then when it was all installed, felt a little risky to her. Actually, in the last video that we filmed here, which wasn't that long ago, so it's pretty crazy the progress that has been made. We were showing the contractor the pattern. I think it looks incredible. My daughter came with us last Friday, and she said, "Mom, can you make me a princess bathroom like this?" And I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
But I think one of the ways that we decided to kind of bring it down and go with her modern organic feel is that both the kids' space on the left and then the guest room on the right will be really organic linen bedding and just softer tones. And that way, that will bring that blush. And we do have the blushes running throughout with furnishings as well, but it will bring it all kind of down a notch.
And I think the second her granddaughter walks in and says, "Oh, my princess bath," she's going to be like, "You guys." But she really did love the samples. And I know when it's said and done, we know our client really well. We know she's going to love it. And she's never like hated it. It just,
it's shocking.
It's a risk.
It's a risk. And sometimes when you come in before things are fully executed, it seems even more risky because, like I've said before, those elements are isolated.
Yeah.
So it's scary.
Yes. So there's not much to view in this other bedroom. This is going to be her prayer space. I guess we would call it like kind of the loft landing. It's going to have wallpaper, and we did custom make the barn doors for that space. So you can see, we showed in that last video that it has some detailing that's really interesting, and we had the trim carpenter do this. At first the contractor said he wasn't sure that he would be able to do it, but he sure did. And so I was very impressed that we could do a little Photoshop and then come up with something, and all of a sudden now it's real.
Yeah.
Well, the last room up here is what we've been calling the second master. So it has an ensuite bath, and it's bigger, and it also has like a dedicated entrance. It really just has the light in it right now, so there's not much to view other than this really big, amazing window, which of course makes us happy.
And something I want to say is that all of this together is going to be cohesive and lovely and beautiful, and it's both warm and rich colors and lighter and softer, like almost pastel hues. When we bring the furniture in, it's really going to show the fullness of character in the space and all the very fun little details that we chose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The last room is the office and the powder bath. So back down. Okay. So this is our client's office, and I really wanted to make this place special because honestly, she deserves a special retreat. She showed us an inspiration photo, and it had this visual comfort light, and we knew we needed to run with it. The bubbles are really fun, but it also kind of has a modern contrast with the vintage doors that are also from Antiques and Vintage, constantly shouting them out. And then Mom, I believe you chose this built-in situation.
So it was an inspiration that I saw this built-in and then a desk that the cabinet man also built for the space so that it goes together. We ordered ours is a little bit different. We ordered some brass legs for the table, for the desk. Our client works from home, and so she really needs all the gizmos and gadgets. So fun little solution for like hiding a printer when you have these built-ins that are only like 12 inches deep is we actually had dead space inside the pantry. And so we put a little bit more room underneath this cabinet. You'd never know, but it goes deep enough for her printer and all of her office stuff.
Yeah. You got to think outside of the box with space. I think even with a big home, to maximize storage and not have giant built-ins everywhere. And so this was a great idea. This room is not huge, but honestly, it doesn't need to be ginormous.
Nope.
But I do love that it's one of the first spaces that you see when you walk in. This color is called Shelby's Gray. It was actually Sherwin-Williams Colonnade Gray. Sherwin-Williams Colonnade Gray. My bank of colors in my head, it's like scrolling through a Rolodex real quick. But it was Colonnade Gray, which was a little dark. And so we decided to lighten that. They said it's very similar to, oh, he's bringing you a light.
Thank you so much.
They got us the light to show you guys the laundry room. So a little behind the scenes of filming this video. So they told us it was going to be very similar to Benjamin Moore's Revere Pewter. I will say, although I love our Sherwin-Williams guy, he was very incorrect on the comparisons.
But we love it.
We loved it.
We loved it. And we used it in the upstairs twin room for the millwork because we just thought it's going to go so well up there. It looks like a totally different color upstairs because of the lighting.
Yeah.
Which is why we always tell you, paint swatches.
Yeah. Then there's not much to show you in the powder bath.
Yes, there is.
There's not much to see because it's being installed. We got some amazing Schumacher wallpaper, which is textured. To be a little bit more cost effective, we chose to do millwork.
Yeah, so that's one way that we saved our clients money. You know, Schumacher's a pricier point of wallpaper, but we did millwork so that there was less wallpaper to purchase.
Yeah.
But it's so beautiful. And then we have a mirror and a really sweet little vanity. It's just a tiny little jewel box of a space.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It's complete, which we will hopefully be able to show you within a month, right?
Yeah.
So we're hoping this doesn't run into Christmas completely. And I am thinking, I would love to hear your thoughts about sprucing this house up for Christmas so you can see. So you'll see us installing furniture, finishing the design. Our client is going on a mini trip, and then we are going to style and stage their house, and they will get a reveal. So make sure you're subscribed to see that because I can't wait. I feel like it's going to be so sweet, their reaction. They have worked so hard, and I mean, their feedback and their thoughts and their inspiration, honestly, they're the best clients. Yeah. I mean, if you come in and I say you're better than them, you are like,
yeah. Well, because it was so collaborative, and that's what we love. We want to take your dream and bring them to life.
Yeah.
Just based on things that you say, the little cues that make us understand who you are and what's important to you.
Exactly. And so it was so sweet. I know they're going to love it. And then I'm thinking maybe just so we get a little holiday inspiration, also juicing it up after. So you'll get like the everyday tour, and then we'll also do some holiday. So I would love to hear your feedback on that, what you think about the house. Also, if you want, just one question that we got was, how can I see projects and their updates? Because we really want to give you like actually a live experience, I guess, of what's going on, and not, the final after without showing you the process. Because I feel like you'll learn more from the process. It's more interesting, but it's hard to keep up when we're posting so often. So I made a landing page, and it's farmhouseliving.com/projects, which I will link in the description, but it is going to have an update on projects that are finished and then the actual projects that are in progress and kind of their placement of that so that you can see. Anything else?
No, I don't think there's anything else. I love working with great contractors, great clients, and I just can't believe it's all coming to life now.
Oh, it'll be ready so quickly.
Yeah.
You're gonna be blown away. This is like literally when it's done. That's all.
All right. So subscribe, get your friends to subscribe.
Okay, bye.